Good evening. I'm Forrest Sawyer, and this is Day One. Tonight, the ancient trees of the National Forest, a treasure that belongs to us all.
I call it gold. I mean, it's just like gold.
But thieves are ripping off the taxpayer, stealing timber worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
It's not just the money. This was our heritage. In the year 2300, our kids could have come out here and seen 500-year-old trees.
A Day One investigation reveals the government keeps looking the other way. Masked gunmen are shooting children in the name of law and order.
There was no way you could stop them, no way you could call the police.
It's called punishment shooting, kneecapping, and in Northern Ireland, it's how vigilantes are cracking down on their own.
Anyone who goes to the police is likely to be shot.
Meet Crookie, Chundo, Bettina, Fay Ray, and Wegman. An artist making magic with 4 dogs and a camera.
They transform. They become something else.
Something funny, strange, and very, very lucrative.
Have you made sense of the art world?
Oh, I made a few dollars, but not cents.
And your feet take a beating just getting where you're going. Try getting there in a pair of these. Platforms. They're back.
What's old is new again. You can make your own fashion statement.
The question is, why?
From ABC News, Forrest Sawyer, Sheila McVicker, John Hockenberry, Michelle McQueen, Jay Shadler, John McKenzie, and Lloyd Kramer. This is Day One.
We begin tonight with a Day One investigation into the theft of one of the world's most precious natural resources. We've all heard the warnings about the destruction of the Amazon rainforest. This satellite photo shows some lighter areas here where trees have been completely cut away. But now take a look at this, a satellite picture of one of our forests, Mount Hood National Forest in Oregon. The lighter areas here are clear cutting, the end result of a decade during which America stripped its forests at record rates. We know that President Clinton does have a plan that's supposed to save the U.S. forests. What you may not know is that for years, thieves working in and around the logging industry have been making off with timber worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They're stealing a national treasure that belongs to all of us, and they're doing it right under the government's nose. Jay Shadler has more.
Well, you want to guess the height for me? You're saying 250?
250 feet? 240.
The Willamette National Forest in Oregon is home to giants.
How old is that one, Greg? What do you think? I'm thinking 350, 400, yeah.
Yeah.
Private foresters Roy Keane and Greg Hardy are experts at estimating the value of trees. Some are simply priceless.
How much is this tree worth? About $20,000. $20,000. If we were to look at cost of replacement, nobody would be able to afford to buy this tree. We can't grow any more of these trees. This may be the last there is.
Like the trees in every one of this country's 158 national forests, they belong to the American taxpayer, but they are in the custody of the U.S. Forest Service, an agency that has long cultivated its reputation as guardian of the nation's wild lands.
He protects all living things in the forest.
But lately, Smokey's image has been undergoing a change.
Why are you doing this interview in silhouette?
I'm just not prepared to go through the potential harassment that I would receive from the Forest Service.
This man works for the U.S. Forest Service. He's been a special police agent for more than 10 years. But like a growing number of other timber cops, he claims millions of dollars worth of public trees are stolen every year, right from under the nose of the very agency entrusted to protect them.
It was so obvious that the theft was occurring where it was not dealt with, it was not addressed, it was not investigated, it was not pursued.
To understand how that can happen, you must realize that selling trees, not chasing thieves, has been the mission of the U.S. Forest Service. That's because the Forest Service's budget is directly tied to the number of public trees it turns into private timber. Roy Keane runs a watchdog group to track the agency.
When they look at trees and cutting trees, they see their budget. Tree cutting goes down, budget goes down. Tree cutting goes up, budget goes up.
So back in Washington, what they like to see is a Forest Service manager who's sold a lot of timber.
Managers that get the cutout are definitely popular.
This tree probably has about 5,000 board feet in it, and it's worth about $4,000 to the government.
Timber theft can occur anywhere, from the forest to the mill. In the woods, the Forest Service marks off boundaries. Trees that are to be saved are sprayed. But these forests are large and remote, so stealing extra trees is an easy game that the loggers have played for years.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, in my theory from the years I've been in it, it's just to see if you can do it. Just to see if you can do it.
Still, the vast majority of timber theft takes place after the trees leave the woods, in private scaling yards where logs are measured to determine their value. Though Forest Service workers sometimes monitor these yards, it's no guarantee against theft.
This individual you see in the foreground, he is in fact the Forest Service scaler.
This surveillance video shows an equipment operator stealing logs, even as a Forest Service employee stands less than 50 feet away, in what eventually turned out to be a $2 million timber theft case. It's not nearly as rare as you might think, according to Forest Agent Jim Kiefer.
When you have truckloads of logs that are going down the road worth $3,000 or $4,000 a piece, the government can lose millions and millions of dollars.
In one current case in Oregon, this employee of the Columbia River Scaling Company was charged with accepting bribes from the Thomas Creek Lumber Company, a charge the company denies. But the case has widened to involve more scalers, more timber companies. Up to $100 million worth of logs are believed to have been stolen over 10 years. The federal prosecutor on the case, Jeff Kent, was unable to comment directly to Day One.
Well, the only thing I can say is change never comes easily.
But he is on record as calling Forest Service management of public timber a license to steal.
Is timber theft as big a problem as some people make it out to be?
I don't think it's as big as a lot of people are making out, but, you know, it's always been there.
Dale Robertson has been chief of the U.S. Forest Service for the last 6.5 years.
In April, you said that due to timber theft, we were losing about $10 million worth every year. Now, we understand that the figure actually may be much closer to $100 million or more.
The truth of the matter is it's probably somewhere between 10 million and 100, we don't know. But, you know, if we lose one tree, that's one too many.
How many trees are you losing every year?
Well, we don't know how many trees we're losing because all the cases of timber theft that I know about and that you know about and other people know about are specific cases that we found ourselves.
Actually, most timber theft is not uncovered by the Forest Service at all. 3 separate government sources told Day One most of these crimes are discovered by concerned citizens.
This is ponderosa pine country.
Beautiful. Paul Dewey became a very concerned citizen after learning that the Forest Service had sold the timber rights to some exceptional tracts of ponderosa pines near his home in Sisters, Oregon. So he went to court to make sure that 12 ancient trees would be preserved on every acre sold by the Forest Service.
And we just took it for granted that the Forest Service was going to do it. It never occurred to us that anything could or would go wrong.
But it did.
This is where the trees were.
This place is full of trees.
Reminds me of the old Joni Mitchell song.
The twist here is that they stole paradise and put up a parking lot.
The tall treasures were gone. The private timber company that the Forest Service had sold them to had cut nearly every last one.
What'd you think?
I was speechless. I was mad. I just felt like all that time had been wasted. That it was for nothing.
It also did not have to happen. Dewey learned that the timber company that had chopped these trees, $3 million worth, had stolen timber before, and the Forest Service knew all about it.
The Forest Service had discovered them doing kinds of things like this 5 years before, and each time they said, well, it must have been a mistake, or they forgot. Any excuse in the books, they gave it to them.
You don't automatically assume that everybody's a criminal. things get done that shouldn't be done, and so judgment calls have to be made.
If trees have been cut illegally, a crime's been committed, hasn't it?
There's been at least a contract violation if it's done by one of our timber purchaser.
Isn't it a crime?
It is a contract violation and a crime, depending on the situation. It is a violation of the timber sale contract.
How would you describe the relationship between the Forest Service and the timber industry?
I'd say it's a business relationship. We sell about $1 billion worth of timber a year to the timber industry, and it's a business relationship.
And oh, how that relationship flourished during the last decade. As forest chief during the Reagan-Bush years, Dale Robertson oversaw an agency that critics say turned the national forests into veritable lumber yards for the timber industry.
As you look back over the 80s and early 90s, too many trees cut, do you think?
Well, let's put it this way. Under what we know today, the answer is yes.
But as the trees were falling, the Forest Service was stalling on the growing problem of timber theft. At least that's what a lot of congressmen have come to believe.
Cheating the federal government on timber sales in the Northwest woods has been a tradition as durable as caulk boots.
Last April, Dale Robertson testified on Capitol Hill, vowing his agency was doing all it could to stop timber theft.
And we're making progress, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, come on. You're not making... What progress are you making?
Well, we've got...
If some of the lawmakers sounded as if they'd heard it all before, they had. Beginning in 1988, a series of investigations commissioned by Congress have blasted the Forest Service for mismanagement. Just last summer, a report for the House Committee on Appropriations concluded that the U.S. Forest Service pursuit of timber theft cases has been half-hearted and haphazard.
Well, I just simply disagree with that conclusion.
But so many people are saying you're just too slow at fixing these problems.
I'll say this, the people who are making those statements have never managed a forest and a big organization, and how you bring about change. That takes time.
Many of us believe that the timber industry really has a very strong control over the Forest Service.
According to many of the Forest Service's own special agents, investigations into timber thefts are regularly derailed because of close ties between Forest Service managers and the people they sell the trees to.
Have you ever had one of your own investigations stopped or interfered with by Forest Service personnel?
Yes, several times.
Why?
I was told not to investigate a timber theft because there was a special relationship that the forest had with the timber community.
I'm afraid of retaliation, of course. I've been going through retaliation ever since really this whole thing started.
Of the 16 Forest Service special agents Day One talked to, only Sheriff Clark and Jess Bigham were willing to go public with the criticism that when it comes to timber theft, agents are handcuffed by the Forest Service.
If you look around all the different forests that have been very active in law enforcement, and you look at the agents that were actually involved trying to push those investigations, they're all somewhere else.
Until about a year ago, Sheriff Clark worked in the Klamath National Forest in California. But after aggressively pursuing a timber theft case there, she was abruptly reassigned to a forest in Oregon.
Once I got involved in a timber investigation that was a direct clash with the best interest of the Forest Service, my life started going downhill.
Now every Monday, Agent Clark, a single mom, has to leave her son at home while she travels to work 300 miles away. Jess Bigham has to make the same trip.
If there's not a problem out there, why aren't we allowed to stop trucks? Why can't we go on timber sales? Why do we have to ask permission to go on timber sales? Why do we have to go escorted?
How would you describe the relationship between the timber industry and your own bosses?
Very close. I mean, we're a tree farm. This is our business, is making timber.
We talked to two of your investigators out in the Willamette Forest who said that they had their lives disrupted, their careers short-circuited, because they were trying to pursue timber theft. Do you believe that?
If that is true, we need to investigate that, and if there's retaliation, we'll deal with it, Jay. That's the only way to do that, and we do that.
So many of the timber cops are saying they're not even allowed to get the facts, though. Their investigations are cut short from the get-go.
Well, I don't know the details of what they're saying. I do know that we deal a lot with these minor infractions under the timber sale contract as opposed to initiating a criminal investigation. And that's a judgment call the Forest Service has to make in every case.
The Clinton administration now promises some judgment calls of its own. It's begun a complete review of Forest Service management, including whether Dale Robertson should remain head of the agency. His new boss, Jim Lyon, says business as usual at the Forest Service may just be bad business.
For too long, the National Forests have been managed as if harvesting timber was the sole objective.
Why has it been tolerated so long?
Well, that's a good question.
So politics, big money, old habits, they're all part of the problem. But if you ask the timber cops, they'll tell you that something else is also at work here, something even more basic. They say that the Forest Service managers have forgotten a simple truth, that these trees don't belong to them, they belong to you, to all of us.
I love the Forest Service. I really do. But there are some things in the machine that are broken.
But it's not just the money. This was our heritage. In the year 2300, our kids could have come out here and seen 500-year-old, 600-year-old trees. Big, big ponderosas. They stole a lot more than the money. They stole a whole lot more.
Congress is trying to take action on this problem. Last week, the House passed a bill that gives timber cops more freedom to conduct their investigations. Congress is also looking into the timber cops' complaints that their bosses are retaliating against them for investigating timber theft. As for President Clinton's plan to save our national forests, the fact is, it doesn't even address the problem of timber theft.
Coming up on day one, lights, camera, dogs. Dogs?
Hey, Betty, you!
The Art of William Wegman, when day one continues.
We know the accounts better than anybody else. I'm Greg Wiebold, sales manager with MCI. In the international markets branch, the Japanese vertical market, MCI is a key strategic tool in their business. It's not a commodity at all. They don't use MCI. They work with MCI. Businesses change, and MCI changes. With MCI's new program, Proof Positive, customer will know quarter after quarter. We're here for the long term each and every month to make sure that you're on the right product. We'll show you once a quarter that MCI was the correct way to go, something no one else has ever done before. Not only putting the numbers up to begin with, but guaranteeing those numbers over the length of the time that a customer's with MCI. And it's a long-term commitment.
That is very strange that you talk like that, because the Japanese way is for the long haul.
There's a saying in Japanese that cherry blossom time is the time to cultivate the fruits. Everything you've done, other organizations are around just during cherry blossom time. Here at MCI, we're here throughout the whole time. And when cherry blossom time comes, we celebrate together.
This goes wherever you want it to go. So do these when you're on Goodyear Wrangler GSA radials with triple traction design. No matter where you drive, try a set of all-surface Wrangler radials, only from Goodyear.
Try new Double Power Surf. Other detergents seem watery, but Surf is packed so thick with double the cleaning power, half the liquid gets out the toughest dirt and odors. See?
The ABC News Magazine Day One continues. Once again, Forrest Sawyer.
Now we've got a story about a guy who has got it all figured out. William Wegman knows how to make a lot of money, get really famous, and have a lot of fun. And all he needs is a camera, some lights, and a few costumes. And, of course, every day he's surrounded by sleek, beautiful models who demand so little. Just a few kind words, a pat on the head, and a little treat at the end of the day. Here's John Hockenberry.
When William Wegman walks down the street in New York, he always seems to be surrounded by exotic, interesting personalities. No, not me. The dogs. Crookie, Chundo, Faye, and Bettina.
Are Faye and Bettina pets?
They're pets and they're art supplies.
Okay, Crookie, here we go. One more. Ready?
William Wegman is a world-class artist who's worked in oils, video, and drawing. But his most famous work is in Weimaraner. The breed, that is.
Oh, this is like a nightmare. Okay, ready, you guys? Oh, there you go. Oh, thanks.
So this was your idea today? You were lying in bed this morning going, bathrobes, stools?
Well, I was lying in bed saying 4 dogs.
Wegman's photos hang in the offices of corporate CEOs, in museums, and on living room walls all over the world. Cute pet pictures they're not. Just try to buy one. A critic once called Wegman skewed 5 degrees from normal. He'd probably take that as a compliment. Combine 4 normal gray dogs with Wegman, and this is what you get.
You know, sometimes when I look at your photos, and as I look, who's this? Batty. That's Batty. When she opens her eyes, it's like there's a person inside. You know, I mean,
Their
literally
soul lights
up,
doesn't it? It just really does.
Do human characters come to mind when you look in the eyes of Faye and Bettina?
Yes, I think of Faye right now as being she can play a matron of the arts. She looks upper class, wealthy. She looks like she collects art, but sometimes she can look like a psychopathic killer like Ted Bundy, and she can look incredibly intelligent or incredibly insane.
What about Chundo?
He's actually more handsome in pictures, especially if he has a nice blazer on. And Batty is sweet and charismatic and comical. She's a sex pot. I always think of her as Lolita, especially in some poses. Lolita with dirty feet.
So they love you, but they kind of talk amongst themselves and say, that Bill, he's really into some weird stuff.
I wouldn't go that far.
Really?
Yeah, they're not that judgmental. Yeah. They like to do not weird stuff, but hard stuff. They tend to say, oh, that Bill, this was too easy.
How does he get the dogs to do all this stuff? People ask Wegman this all the time. But there are no choke chains, no sedatives, no little dog yummies to coax them. The Weimaraner breed has been working with humans for hundreds of years. These are working dogs, Wegman says, and he's convinced them this is their job. They believe him.
They don't see it silly the way we do. They see it as really serious and important, just as tracking a quail or a fox. It's that important to them, doing a good picture, or at least keeping still for that moment.
About a minute from shutter to print. But you'd have trouble getting this Polaroid into the back of a pickup truck. There are only 5 of these babies in the world.
The easy load system. Just aim and shoot.
Forget wallet-sized prints. But having the picture right there makes it easy to improvise the next one, and the next one. Finding that next one perhaps best describes Wegman as an artist. Have you made sense of the art world?
Oh, I made a few dollars, but not cents.
Don't be fooled. It's not as easy as it looks.
You got to hide a little bit more, Andrea.
Right here? Under the dog's arms.
If it were, everybody would dress up his or her pet, and Wegman's photos wouldn't go for up to $18,000 a pop.
Okay.
Of course, people try.
I get sent a lot of photographs by people that sort of shyly say, I also work with a dog, and here's my attempts. And it usually involves a hat and sunglasses.
Are you in touch with Weimaraner owners all over the world?
They're in touch with me. I had one person ring my doorbell one night, and I came out, and this guy was just grinning ear to ear, and he was pointing in his car, and I saw that he had a Weimaraner. And I went, oh, very nice. That's one of the little things that happens to me that probably doesn't happen to you.
You photographed Millie, right? The Bush's dog?
Oh, yeah, I did.
What was that like?
It was kind of one of those jobs where you can't say no. Would you like to go to the White House and photograph the First Lady and her dog? No. When she saw the camera, she said, this looks like a camera that a clown would use. So it wasn't very reassuring for us. And she kept saying, "Why aren't you getting this?"
25 years ago, Wegman had a pet. That's how it all began. A dog he picked up for $35 and named for the artist Man Ray. Artistic collaboration wasn't exactly what he had in mind, but Ray kept nosing his way into the shots, so Wegman decided to make him part of the act. It was the beginning of a beautiful, if slightly odd, partnership, as in this early video work.
You got P-A-R-K was spelled correctly, and that was good. Wait a minute. And you spelled O-U-T right, but when it came to beach, you spelled it B-E-E-C-H.
The timing was pretty amazing because I had just turned to video and photography when I got this dog who had tremendous charisma and a need to work, or a willingness to.
So it should have been like the ocean, B-B-A-C-H. See, that's the difference. Well, okay, I forgive you. But remember it next time.
Man Ray died in 1982, a bigger celebrity than his master. Wegman abandoned dog photography for the next 3 years. But then along came Fay Ray. Fay had pups, and the doggy franchise was back in business. Earlier this month, New York's Museum of Modern Art became a showcase for photos from Wegman's latest venture, a turn into storytelling. His illustrated children's book, Cinderella, is a fractured fairy tale even the most jaded adult can enjoy. With costumes, makeup, and cast, making Cinderella was every bit as challenging as shooting a movie. And fun.
The two front ones are great.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Perfect. Let him sit, that's good. Standing's better, but sitting's okay.
Ooh. Oh, good, good. Got it!
Curator of the museum's photography collection, Peter Galassi.
The great thing about them is that you completely accept the illusion at the same time that you're totally aware that it's entirely absurd. So it's fine for him to have this cheapo, cardboard printed fireplace. The brush. And the brush, that's right.
What do you think a dog art critic would say?
Fay's fairy tales continue soon with, what else? Little Red Riding Hood. That book comes out in the fall. So just where do we put William Wegman in the grand march of art history? Or dog history? Wegman is an original. And though he can't explain it, through the dogs, Wegman's artistic vision somehow comes through.
There's a certain level everyone can get, I guess, of those dog pictures. But there's a certain level only a few people get. I don't know who they are, but I'm one of them.
Mm-hmm.
As you may have gathered, Bill Wegman's dogs work pretty hard, but they live a pretty good life, too. They get to spend all day with their master, they are lavished with praise, and right now, they're on vacation at their summer home in Maine.
Day one with Forrest Sawyer will continue in a moment.
You know those first few days of a yeast infection? Forget it. The itching and irritation? Forget it. Now there's relief. The new Gynolotrim combination pack is here. The big difference is this little tube of cream. It relieves the external itching and irritation. So now you can forget it. Plus 7 inserts for a fast cure. A cure that starts working on contact. If you're not getting relief, forget it. Get the new Gynolotrim combination pack. The right cure is such a relief.
Day one in the middle of nowhere. The meals have been superb. It's a good thing they have a fitness program aboard every Royal Caribbean ship. Maybe I'll work out tonight before dinner. Maybe I won't. There was something about the streamers at our Bon Voyage party that told me this is going to be the vacation of a lifetime.
You've got some Royal Caribbean coming.
My baby loves oval. She just can't stop. She loves the butterfly kernels going pop, pop, pop. She licks the popcorn butter and the popcorn salt. She's my popcorn lover, and it's all his fault. There ain't no way to stop a Rickenbacker popper, pop, pop, pop.
Tuesday, it's their anniversary, and Rosie plans a sexy photo.
A maid's uniform? This is supposed to be fantasy, not reality.
Roseanne. Then, Christine wants a facelift.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
A lot of people are getting plastic surgery these days.
Well, not real people. Plastic people.
Gosh, Tuesday. Wednesday, making a will is no thrill.
Basically, it just says that if I die, you get everything, and if you die, I get everything.
Well, my stuff's so much cooler than your stuff. Home improvement. Then, Delta's back, and she's got the Willies.
This one's for you, Delta.
Willie Nelson said my name.
When Willie Nelson guest stars.
It's on my mind.
Delta after Home Improvement, Wednesday.
Still to come on day one. A teenager takes a car for a joyride, and vigilantes punish him in a way you wouldn't believe.
It's the worst kind of terror because it's directed at their own people.
At their own children. Catholics against Catholics. Protestants against Protestants in Northern Ireland. The story when day one continues after this from our ABC stations.
Two sisters who shared everything, then one fell ill. Why did you feel you had to kill your sister? If a loved one asked you the ultimate, could you do it? Was this an act of love? A story you'll never forget. 2020, Friday.
Your car's brakes, fixed fast. Shocks, fixed fast. Exhaust, fixed fast. When your car's brakes are broke, shocks are shot, or muffler just isn't muffling anymore, come to Bobin's. At Bobin's, we know it's important to you to have your car fixed right and fixed fast. At Bobin's, we'll get your car in quick and fix it fast. Because sometimes you're in a hurry.
Fixed right, fixed fast, Bobin.
Call Bobin in Independence, Manchester, Waterloo, Coralville, or Cedar Rapids.
Okay, gang, let's load up.
Here are my bags.
3 bags.
We'll be gone a whole weekend.
McGrath's One Price Buying has families everywhere getting great values on vans.
Got room for my dolly, Daddy?
Sure, Pumpkin. Honey, where are my golf clubs?
Already packed.
That's it. Everybody in.
Daddy, wait!
Scruffy, not on Daddy's lap.
McGrath One Price Buying. No runaround. 3 locations, Cedar Rapids and Iowa City.
All Iowa Fair 93 is bigger and better than ever. Wednesday, July 21st, KCRG TV9 sponsors Wild Wednesday with half-price admission for children, students, and seniors. At 7:30 p.m., rock and roll with the Jets. Thrill to great rides from Bill Haynes. Don't miss the daily attractions like Circo Dia Spectacular, the Broken Top Lumberjack, and daily children's comedy shows. Free grandstand seating with fair admission. All Iowa Fair 93, July 20th through the 25th. Be there.
People are documenting the flood damage. We'll show you tonight at 10.
Day one continues from New York. Once again, Forrest Sawyer.
In every town across America, you hear stories about youngsters who steal cars and get into fights, who just can't seem to behave. They often end up facing angry parents and teachers and sometimes the police. This is a story about another country, much like our own, a place with courts, prisons, and a police force like ours. But there, a child who gets into trouble can get a visit from armed vigilantes who deliver their own brand of justice through the barrel of a gun. Their parents have to sit by as their children are literally taken out, shot, and wounded, and nothing can be done about it because people are too frightened and too powerless to stop it. Here's Day One, Sheila McVicker.
For 25 years, the gunmen have called the shots in Northern Ireland. In the struggle between Catholics and Protestants, armed men on both sides, known as the paramilitaries, have waged war. Now they have revived an old and bloody IRA tactic designed not to kill, but to terrorize. It is all the more horrifying because it is directed at their own.
You get them shot in the leg or arms, or both.
This is pure terror, pure intimidation.
You don't need to be a good shot. I'm only shooting from 3 or 4 inches away. You don't miss.
Claiming official law and order in Belfast is broken down, the paramilitaries say they are forced to police their own communities. Protestants are shooting Protestants. Catholics are shooting Catholics. What is most extraordinary is that many of the victims are children accused of minor crimes. And the most common is this. Joyriding. Stealing cars for thrills hooks kids as young as 11. And in this city, vigilante punishment is often worse than the crime.
Did you know, Aaron, what was going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they were there to shoot you?
Yeah.
Not to question you?
I knew he was going to shoot me.
Aaron Curran could barely see over the wheel when he stole his first car. He could have served time in juvenile detention. Instead, he was 12 when the IRA first warned him to stop. There were more warnings, even brutal beatings. But joyriding was a drug, and Aaron was hooked. A year ago, the IRA came back. This time, he was blindfolded, and the IRA took him to a back alley.
There was a fellow waiting to shoot me, and the fellow just says, "Lay him down there." And he tried to push me down. I wouldn't go down for him. He just lifted me and dropped me on the ground. And shot me in my legs. Tried to put the bullet in my spine as well, when the gun was jammed.
And all I remember saying to my husband is, "They've shot him. Shot him. I know they've shot him." And I felt awful because she knew what they were going to do on him. And you had to let your son walk out and be shot.
There was no way you could stop them? No way you could call the police?
No. And the guilt, I mean, even today, the guilt that you have over that there was nothing that you could do to stop people coming in and taking your 17-year-old son out and shooting him for antisocial behaviour. And what they call antisocial behaviour, when they do it every day in the week, it's terrible.
The entire Curran family is now in hiding, moving from safe house to safe house in the city. The IRA has threatened to kill all of them because they have spoken out publicly, condemning the gunmen's tactics. Jeff Maxwell runs an organization that helps families like the Currans. He says the gunmen's activities have nothing to do with combating crime.
The paramilitaries themselves are not concerned, for example, if people's property have been damaged, because if it suits the organization that they need a car for to leave a bomb in the centre of town, if they need roadblocks, they will instruct these same kids to steal the property, to steal the cars and put them across the road or leave them for the organisation to use. So it's not a question that they are somehow abhorred by the stealing of someone's property. It's the stealing of someone's property without their permission. It's purely a method of control.
This is someone who's been shot, as you can see, in the mid part of the thigh. They call these kneecappings, but really people can be shot almost anywhere in the limbs. Punishment shootings to the trunk are rare. People, of course, are occasionally punished by being shot in the head and executed. And of course, sometimes there will be more than one shot. There seems to be some kind of sliding scale of severity of offence. The worse the offence, or the more times the person has committed it, seems to mean that they can be shot more than once and in more than one site.
This one you were shot twice?
Yeah.
The bullet went in there?
The bullet and there are 2 entry wounds. One was stuck here, and the other that came out there.
What did it do to your leg and to your ankle?
It shattered my shin bones on both of my legs. I've lost feeling in my feet.
The IRA is outlawed, but it is possible to make contact. We were taken to a secret address and told to wait. An IRA gunman walked through the door. He insisted we disguise his voice.
Are you considered good at it?
No, I don't think anybody's good at it. It's just, it's like shooting people. It's just, after a period of time, you become more experienced.
Do you see any irony that you are punishing one crime by committing another?
I don't consider it a crime. And because what I'm trying to do, or what the IRA is trying to do, is to stop crime. To stop crimes against the people in these areas. If people stop, there'd be no need for us to get involved now.
The IRA combines the bullet with the ballot box. Its public face is the political party Sinn Féin. This man is one of the party's elected councillors, but he is also believed to order kneecappings.
The demand within this community for an end or a reduction of crime invariably ends up at the door of the IRA, where people are going to the IRA and demanding that the IRA does something.
Demanding that their own children be shot?
I do know that there are people who have had their children punished, and whilst it is very, very difficult for people from outside of here to understand that in any other society where people would be abhorred about the prospect of having one of your family kneecapped or punished in some form or another, that people can understand why it has to happen here.
Well, they would say that, but I mean, it's absurd to suggest that if someone comes out and says, look, my car's been stolen, I'd love to break the legs of the guy who stole the car, that you then go along and do that. And it's furthermore unsuccessful. It doesn't work. They go out and they shoot these kids and they heal and they go and steal more cars, or they joyride or burgle. So the claim that they have that they're doing this because people ask them to do it, it's indefensible.
Why aren't the communities demanding that this practice be stopped?
Anyone who goes to the police is likely to be shot. Anyone who gives information to the police, which leads to the conviction of an IRA man, is taken away, interrogated, and they're found with a hood over their head and a bullet in their mouth. So they will be shot. There's no question. People are afraid.
But it is not just the IRA who terrorize and control their own through punishment shootings. The Protestants do it too, and even more frequently than the Catholics. Last year, 73 people were the victims of Protestant kneecappings, and 60 were kneecapped by Catholics. Most were teenage joyriders. The pace is not slowing. Separated from the Catholics by a wall on the Protestant side of Belfast, a former enforcer is now in command of all their punishment squads.
I would be responsible for punishment being dealt out to offenders both within our own organisation and within our community.
Is there a way of doing the shooting?
Oh, there is. You can cripple somebody for life, or you can flesh wounds. I mean, it's very seldom that we would deem it necessary to cripple somebody.
If that is not enough of a punishment to stop people, where does it end? Do you end then in ordering executions?
No, you can leave someone incapable of stealing cars again without necessarily having to kill them.
The Protestant paramilitaries say people will even keep appointments to be shot. In the past 10 years, this gunman has shot 30 people.
On the whole, 90% of them accept it. They'll stand there and take it. It all depends on the punishment. If the punishment had to be, say, on 4 limbs, once you've shot them the first time, the shock takes over, and they might start shaking and whatever, and they might start jumping about. And if I've been ordered to shoot them in the ball of the leg, I don't want to miss and maybe do them damage in the kneecap or something like that, so I'll maybe have somebody with me to hold them down.
I find it extraordinary that people would accept the notion of being shot and would stand there and take it.
The ordinary people who don't live in a war situation might find it extraordinary, but the people in this community accept it has to be done.
What are the police doing? In the circumstances, all they can. On both sides of the divide, the police are viewed with suspicion. Catholics are hostile to representatives of the British government. Protestants say the police spend too much time on security matters. Both sides accuse the police of being more interested in turning youthful offenders into informants than in preventing crime. And for the police, community relations are made more difficult when their every move is shadowed by armed British soldiers in full battle dress. The paramilitaries claim they are punishing people no one else will. But those aiding the vigilantes' victims say the court records prove that is not true.
Of the last 41 young people that we have dealt with who have been punished by the paramilitaries, 38 of those had been or we're going through the normal legal judicial system. These kids are being caught, they are being punished by the normal judicial system. It hasn't broken down as the paramilitaries claim it has.
These doctors are among the best at repairing vein trauma and shattered bones. They have so much practice. This is the result of the latest punishment shooting, a man shot 4 times. From today's Belfast, one more grim statistic. More bullets are now fired into the knees, elbows, and ankles of youthful offenders than are spent waging what the paramilitaries call the armed struggle.
People, our parents, don't agree with anyone being shot. They better get up of their asses and they better come out and they better tell the IRA to lay off. That's their kids they're shooting. And if they don't put a stop to this now, you think what this place is going to be like in a few years' time.
Recently, Mrs. Curran's son, Aaron, was arrested and jailed by police, incredibly for taking another joyride. His mother and father were the ones who turned him in, and then they refused to put up bail because they believe he's safer in prison than he is on the streets.
Still to come on day 1. Remember platform shoes?
Fun, individualism, looking your own style. They're ugly.
I hate platform shoes.
Too bad, because they're back when day 1 continues.
After 3 weeks of dark chocolate fudge, chocolate raspberry, truffle, and creamy milk chocolate, I lost 6 pounds on a diet plan where I felt totally indulged. It's new Nestle's Sweet Success. A decadent chocolate shake for breakfast. Another for lunch. Oh, yes. And a sensible meal for dinner. You know that. All for the same calories in other diet plans. That even includes a shake as a snack. It's the only diet that starts with Nestle and ends with sweet success.
It isn't normal to get a V6 in a sports coupe this size, but that's how we build the Mazda MX-3 GS, because we just thought something a little unexpected might appeal to you.
Ever wonder what happens to your initial investment when you buy certain mutual funds through a broker and pay front-end fees? Well, by the time they charge you sales loads and account fees, it's actually costing you hundreds of dollars before you start. But now there's a better way. At Charles Schwab, you can choose from 200 well-known no-load mutual funds with proven track records.
You pay no loads and no transaction fees.
So if you want all of your money to work for you,
maybe it's time to come to Schwab.
Try new Double Power Surf. Other detergents seem watery, but Surf is packed so thick with double the cleaning power, half the liquid gets out the toughest dirt and odors. See?
You can marry me. You love me.
But I love God more.
Tonight, the saga continues.
Fire on Brigida.
Tragedy ignites forbidden passion, but a devastating price is paid. The Thornbirds, next.
Joan London, bright, funny, friendly, fast on her feet. Charles Gibson, solid as a rock without being dull as a stone. Together, they're America's best-loved morning team. The Emmy Award-winning Good Morning America, the morning champion.
50 years ago, the fashionable woman wore a nice hat. She carried a matching bag, and she wore platform shoes. 20 years ago, the fashionable woman wore no hat. She carried a giant purse that doubled as a backpack, and she wore platform shoes. Tonight, proof that we just can't seem to learn our lesson. Platform shoes are back again, and they're coming to a store near you. Lloyd Kramer set out to learn more about this fashion phenomenon that just refuses to die.
When you first set your eyes on platform shoes...
I hated them. I hated them. I like the height. I like to be tall.
I like that they're red. I've always been searching for the perfect pair of red shoes, and when I saw these, I knew that was it.
These are the shoes that we made for Madonna.
The subject is platform shoes.
We made her like 6 pairs of these. She loved them. Loved them.
Shoes. Everyone needs them. But does everyone need platform shoes? Maybe. The fact is, this fall in stores all over the country, as many as 20% of the shoes for sale will be some kind of platform shoe. Have platforms been performing well for you?
We've been selling like 200 pairs a week.
Very well.
We're doing very well with them.
In the discos, the sounds of the 70s are back. But for some, the return of the platform shoe is a rude reminder of a bygone era.
It's an ugly moment in fashion right now, and that's because fashion people are feeling pretty ugly. They brought us through the 40s again, the 50s again, the 60s again. Now, no one in their right mind was ever going to bring back the 70s. They were just too awful. But when you run through everything else and you don't have a new idea in your head, then what's left? You bring back the 70s.
Do you remember when they were fashionable years ago?
I remember so much, yes, I do.
If I recall my shoe history correctly, was it Ferragamo which is responsible for reviving the platform shoe?
Very definitely, and certainly Salvatore Ferragamo was one of the innovators in the early 20s and 30s.
Well, the first go-round was in the 40s. I mean, I loved them in the 70s.
I thought the first go-around was in the 30s.
Oh, well, I might be. I'm off by 10 years.
You've given some thought to platform shoes.
I've given a great deal of thought. They're very important in our industry, and they have a great historical background. Most people associate them with today, but in reality, they started back in the 15th century.
Back then, the Catholic Church actually encouraged Europe's female aristocracy to wear platform shoes because they reduced the possibility of sin by making dancing difficult. Clearly, though, this tradition is not uppermost in the minds of those who treasure the platform shoe today.
These are old. These are like really great. These are from like about 1972.
Right.
These are great boots. These are new. These are old.
Those are old. Right.
What's old is new again. And you mix it with new clothes, and it makes a new... You can make your own fashion statement.
And what would that statement be?
Fun.
Is that with is that capital F-U-N?
Capital fun.
Do I see any platform shoes here?
You sure do.
The fun really begins at a shoe fair when one goes in search of the answer to that eternal question, what exactly is a platform shoe?
It's a hidden platform.
What's this?
That's a platform sneaker.
These are clogs on a platform.
These are clogs on a platform. That's not a platform. That's grunge.
Grunge.
But that's not real. I guess it's
part of
technically it's part of the platform.
Part of the story.
This is grunge look too, but it's a platform. Fashion's over. It'll be back, but for the moment, it's over.
Excuse me, could I ask you something here? What? I just thought you might fall for a second, but you feel like you're stable on those?
I'm very stable.
Are you?
They're very secure.
Yes.
And they're comfortable, too.
I wear platforms because they're comfortable.
Comfort? Comfort if they're done right, yeah.
When you have a shoe that's got a heel this wide, how can they not be comfortable?
Supermodel Naomi Campbell experienced some of that platform comfort recently at a fashion show in London.
Naomi Campbell's a world champion walker, and she couldn't walk on these shoes.
What I tell a lot of people is maybe to practice in your house. Wear them for a couple hours around your house.
You don't go in for the big platforms.
We have it, no.
You don't take it seriously.
Right.
You don't look at this seriously. You know that somebody that's going to wear this is going out, they're going to dance, they're going to have a good time.
They want to get attention.
Yeah.
Freud once talked about shoes as being a very, very seductive force.
I like to be powerful. I just always wanted to be tall. I like to have a powerful aura.
Did Freud ever say anything about platform shoes?
I don't think he ever said anything directly.
Beauty is pain. I love them.
I don't.
It's not me. I would wear a regular high heel, but not,
Is it you?
no.
You wouldn't wear them yourself.
Truthfully? No.
So who's responsible for reinventing the platform shoe, the fashion industry's latest route to a woman's wallet? Was it simply the big-name designers turning to the past for a new idea?
The first name that comes to mind is Vivienne Westwood.
Most people in the fashion business, I would attribute it to Karl Lagerfeld and what he did for Chanel.
It was in this store.
In this particular store?
In this particular store.
Right.
Karl Lagerfeld?
Karl Lagerfeld is a great designer, but he didn't start the platform shoe craze.
Really, was this store?
It was this store. It was Alan and Susie.
How about Alan and Susie? What part did they play in the...
Not familiar with them.
Oh.
You got me with who's Alan and Susie?
Well, that's a shoe store.
Who's Alan and Susie, Carol?
We did it.
Well, whoever did it, platforms are here until fashion finds the next forgotten item to bring back to the future.
Whatever you think about platform shoes, it is clear that women and men care an awful lot about what they put on their feet. Last year, Americans spent $31 billion on shoes. We'll be right back.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lisa. Happy birthday to you.
This may seem like any other day, but it's not. Because now people will be able to talk to one another in a brand new way. That's because across the U.S. and Canada, leading cellular communications companies have joined together to create MobileLink, a new standard in cellular service. So now, whenever you need to stay in touch, MobileLink will make it as simple as a phone call. MobileLink. Hello. It's simply the way to communicate. To order service today, call your MobileLink provider.
When you have a good breakfast, you don't feel like you're slowing down in the morning.
Next week is Grape Nuts Discover the Difference Week. Discover how breakfast with Grape Nuts helps keep you going all morning.
Energy all morning? Count me in.
Discover the difference breakfast with Grape Nuts can make. The fat-free, natural energy source.
There's just something about it.
And discover a taste that's
really hearty.
Look for your $1 off in Sunday's paper.
It's time I did something good for me.
Grape Nuts Discover the Difference Week starts next week.
Sunday.
Somebody just shot my kids. There's blood everywhere.
How could anyone have aimed a pistol at 3 little children and pulled the trigger 5 times?
I think the maniac should have been caught by now.
You had a gun.
You're wrong, Lou.
Don't let her out of your sight.
I didn't do it.
You're a cold-blooded, vicious murderer. Farrah Fawcett, John Shea, Ryan O'Neal, Small Sacrifices. Sunday. Parental discretion is advised.
One program note, be sure to watch Nightline right after your late local news. The topic tonight, the President's executive order allowing gays in the military. And later in this week, be sure to watch Primetime on Thursday and 2020 on Friday. But that's our broadcast for tonight. I'm Forrest Sawyer. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
Day One is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.